Hello, everybody. I think I am probably the last person still at Homestead High School. It is Wednesday. They're going to be locking the doors at 5 o'clock, and it's about in half an hour. I wanted to make one video for you guys here from our orchestra room before I also am on COVID-19 hiatus in my house. So that's what today is. It's my first attempt at these instructional videos. There'll be many more and on specific learning topics coming in the days and weeks to come. For now, I just wanted to reiterate to everybody how badly I feel about what's happened to our orchestra year and your year specifically at school. Seniors, my heart goes out to you specifically for all the things that you've lost and all the questions remaining in terms of what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's really important for us to remember, though, that these extraordinary measures will actually help save people's lives as this crisis flows through our country. I'm confident that this is the right thing to do, even though we're incredibly inconvenienced and sad about giving up a lot of things. But those sacrifices will, for sure, alleviate suffering and extend lives, and in many cases save lives when this virus storm hits our country with full force, which it is likely to be doing by the time perhaps even you're reading this video or listening to this video. So with that spirit in mind, let's work together, try to do the best we can to keep orchestra and our momentum going from all the work you did leading up to Solo Ensemble Festival, which was supposed to be this weekend. And we won't talk specifically about our tour to Bavaria, which was also supposed to be leaving in just a few days. Trust me, we would not want to be in Germany right now. So that is for the best as well. My job, though, is to help you continue to grow on your instrument and for us to be able to work individually, developing our skills and knowledge of our music so that when we are able to come back together here in this room, we will pick up right where we left off in terms of skills and considerably ahead in terms of specifically the knowledge and ability to play the music that we have barely started in the last few weeks or so. So that's my attitude for this. I'm very happy for the opportunity to continue this process with you. Obviously, I wish we were together in this room, but this will be the next best thing, I guess. So, just a few things. I wanted to talk to you today about setting up your own practice space and learning space in your homes now. You'll be spending a lot of time with your family at home, and there's a few things that you'll want to have all organized for yourself when we begin our work together with online orchestra. And the first thing is you'll want to have access to a device that you can watch this video. I might suggest a computer. Because you might need your cell phone for some other applications. Like you'll for sure want to have a tuner. There's any number of fine, free, or low-cost electronic tuners that you can download on your cell phone. It's also important that you'll have a metronome. So if you've never had those apps on your phone, you should go ahead and download a tuner and a metronome for your use. The great thing about the electronic tuners on a phone is they'll literally tell you graphically if your string is sharp or flat. And then if it's sharp, you reduce the pitch of the string. If it's flat, you raise it up. And it's almost like a little video game to get that graphic, however the one you have depicts that, but to get that exactly in tune. Of course, you can also tune your strings using fifths, like we do in orchestra class. I want to give you one little advice about tuning, which is if you're going to make a major tuning change with a string, not a fine tuner adjustment here, but a larger tune adjustment, make sure you bring the string down and then bring it up again. If you go up, you might possibly go too far up and then cause your string to break, which is an inconvenience and a cost issue, and you don't want to do that. So bring your string down and then up to the pitch until your tuner tells you or your ear tells you that it's in tune. Let me show you what my little setup is here right now, because there's a few other learning resources you'll want to have access to. First of all, homesteadorchestra.org incredibly useful resource. You'll notice I've actually updated the website already so that there's a reminder about where some of the resources are that you need, including, look at this everybody, all of the music that you're going to need access to in case you didn't have a chance to come in and get your music. So homesteadorchestra.org is all loaded up and set, ready to go with those resources. Of course, you know that there's a Google Classroom that you should have already by now enrolled in. Make sure you sign up for the appropriate section of Google Classroom, string, symphony, or chamber orchestra. Our wind and percussion friends have been invited to join the chamber orchestra section. There's some resources that might help them keep up with what we're doing in orchestra so that, again, when we start rehearsals, they'll have some information about what we're working on. I sent you an email with the secret code or the access code for registration for Google Classroom, so make sure you take care of that if you haven't done so already. There's another resource, of course, which is the John Emanuel Sin YouTube channel. This thing started off with a much different purpose in mind, but if you're watching this video, perhaps you found it on the John Emanuel Sin YouTube channel. Folks, I would recommend that you literally do subscribe to this channel now. Before we were joking about that, getting more subscribers and, you know, that kind of thing. But for now, if you subscribe to it, it's actually helpful because when I post a new instructional video, you'll get a reminder. And I think that might be really useful to you. We found out that if you subscribe with your school Gmail account, sometimes you get kicked out again, so you might want to subscribe with a different email account, and then you'll be an actual real subscriber. Okay, right now there's 80 subscribers, so conceivably we should have 130 or 135 more subscribers if you're not one of those 80. I've already done a kind of a fun little treat for symphony, chamber, and the winds, which is I uploaded this amazing video of George Schulte conducting the Berlin Philharmonic on the Shostakovich Symphony that we're starting or have slightly started already. So this is a video that actually is not previously available to the world. Schulte, one of the great conductors ever. This is a special piece for him. I was able to watch him conduct the Chicago Symphony, but they never commercially released a video of him conducting Shostakovich Fifth Symphony. So this is a little special thing for our orchestra program, and you can watch the fourth movement, which we'll be working on. You can also watch the first, second, and third movements if you're curious to see the rest of the symphony. And in fact, there'll be some listening assignments down the road that will encourage you to do so. Okay. The last thing you'll want to make sure to have is to print out all of the music that I posted on the website. And you might see the top page and think, well, I've got that. Well, there's additional music that you maybe don't have. String orchestra, for instance, you'll need pictures that in the exhibition, including those movements we haven't rehearsed lately. You'll need Orion and the Scorpion. Luckily, we have got a nice start on that. And then you'll be playing Phantom of the Opera medley with the Symphony and Chamber Orchestra, and we have not yet started that at all. So your music is attached where it says String Orchestra, Violin 1, String Orchestra, Violin 2, and so on. Symphony and Chamber Orchestra, your music contains the Shostakovich Symphony with some fingerings and bowings that I marked in since that part I passed out real quick in class. Then also just Montagues and Capulets. That's all we'll have time to do with the Prokofiev. And then Phantom of the Opera. And I don't think all the sections got Phantom of the Opera yet. So like Chamber Orchestra, I don't think you have that. And if you did take Shostakovich, you might want to reprint the Shostakovich because there's additional, as I mentioned, some fingerings and some bowing changes as well from what we used in class. Wind and percussion players, you'll see I just posted wind and percussion, Montagues and Capulets, and then woodwind players, and then brass and percussion in two separate files, the Shostakovich Symphony and also the Phantom of the Opera medley. So you can find your music there if you didn't happen to bring that home. When we had to leave school in haste and have been doing lots of other things to scramble and try to make everything work for us. So get yourself a little place where you have probably a device and to watch the videos and work with me, and then also a way to access a tuner and a metronome. Like This obviously is not my cell phone. This is a little prop because I'm using my cell phone to film this segment. So you'll need to solve that problem some kind of way. It's important that you have a music stand so your music is accessible, a comfortable chair to sit in. I would recommend doing your orchestra practicing in a seated position because we perform in a seated position. Basses, if you have a bass stool, that would be lovely. Otherwise, kind of work something out where it's a comfortable way for you to position your bass. I'll be communicating, as I said, regularly through Google Classrooms. I'll be posting similar videos, except they'll be instructional on the YouTube channel. And I just wish all of us well, that we don't go stir crazy, cooped up in our houses. Most importantly, that we stay healthy, that we stay connected with each other, that you stay positive through this process, and that you believe with me that shutting our lives down and going through these inconveniences will make an enormous difference as our country and as our world grapples with this really serious health crisis that could become one of the leading causes of death in our country if we can't slow that spike of curve of people getting sick and then needing serious treatment that will overload our healthcare facilities in our country. So we'll work together. I look forward to having you be back in this orchestra room. My next video will be in an alternate space as well. Take care of yourself, okay? I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.